Miss Ferguson. I'm Judge Bondurant. How are you today?
Hello, Judge Bondurant. How are you?
Oh, great. I'm retired, so I'm just a visiting judge.
I met you once in Graham County, I think I covered years ago.
In Young County, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Down where they have trees.
Yes, it was a beautiful drive.
Well, good. Well, thanks for doing that. So just if you need to visit or anything, just let me know. I'm not in control, so however you want to do this.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that we are all set for the first few cases, at least. We may need to visit later on in a Bailey County case.
Okay, great. And you'll know if you have all the parties, so just let me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah, on this one, I don't see CASA yet, but
yeah, and I just sent them an email to make sure that they are not having trouble logging in.
Okay. I was looking at this today. I was thinking there is no way. I don't know how before they had Zoom anybody ever did anything out in the Panhandle.
Yeah,
you drove to death.
Yes.
Yes, I don't miss the days of in-person court.
I miss seeing everyone, but I'm glad I don't have to drive 2 hours to do it.
I went and sat last week, all week in Abilene, and I was in court all day, every day for 4 days. And so it was quite the opposite.
And Judge, I just wanted to let you know that Miss Galvan is the court reporter for this morning.
Okay.
She will be with us for all the cases.
Oh, how fun. We have a court reporter. Yay.
Yeah, we get lucky.
That's good. So I don't have to push any buttons or do anything, or you don't, so we're good.
Yeah, this afternoon's different though. We will have to record the hearing for this afternoon because that county reporter was not available and they prefer that we record.
Okay, just a status hearing. I don't think I can mess that up. I hope. I should be careful what I say.
Okay.
Turn my phone off so it doesn't go off in the middle of this.
But most of our attorneys don't live anywhere near most of these counties, so that rarely gets requested.
If they really, really want to cause y'all heartache, they'll ask for it. That's good. They know how to push your buttons. If I could have announcements for who's present, please.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I am present and ready with Christina Hunter, Permanency Specialist, and Tippy Watson, Supervisor, both from St. Francis Ministries.
Thank you.
Monica Olivas with CASA.
All right, welcome.
Brooks Barfield, attorney from Francisco Ramirez, present.
Savannah Kincaid, attorney from, sorry.
Go ahead.
Savannah Kincaid, attorney for Leslie Vasquez. We're both present and ready.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Stacy Grant, Your Honor, attorney for Case and Ready.
I think that's all the major players. So, Ms. Ferguson.
Your Honor, do you want us to do this formal style or just report style?
I'm okay with report if that's your standard, unless it's contested. Sure.
That's our standard usually.
Okay.
So I would ask Christina Hunter to give the report.
Thank you.
Might help if I unmute. So as of yesterday, I have met with Frankie. Both family plans were signed. They were e-filed as of yesterday as well. Frankie has, or Francisco, has a copy of his family plan. I reviewed it with him yesterday. He understands what the expectations are in regards to his family plan. Leslie's also received a copy of her family plan. She understands what the expectations are for those as well. All referrals have been submitted for both parents. The only thing that is still remaining that needs to be submitted is the OSAR for Francisco, and it's just a couple of forms that has to get filled out and signed by him as well. Outside of that, they're able to go ahead and move forward with starting their services. Leslie has been participating in a outpatient behavioral health program through Northwest Texas Hospital. She's been doing really well from what I've understood. I've spoke with her counselor over there. She still needs to go ahead and move forward with completing the OSAR, those types of things, as we do require those. But it is hopeful that from my conversations with her current providers that they will be able to continue to hopefully engage with her and to be able to help her move forward with that. I did request that both mom and dad drug screen as of yesterday by 4 p.m. Neither one of them submitted. So I am requesting that those do be court ordered as of today.
And what about placement? What's going on there?
The baby is doing really well. I apologize. The baby is doing really well. He's growing, thriving. He had his hearing rechecked. It did pass because in the hospital he was found not to fail in one of his ears. There's no concern with his titer levels or his liver levels. Those are all doing really well and wonderful. He did have a little bit of a cold, and so they've been treating that. But outside of that, he's doing really wonderful. I will actually be seeing him Saturday.
And is he in foster care or with family?
He is in foster care, yes.
Okay. Where are we on reasonable efforts about family?
So when the baby was originally, before the baby was originally removed, he was actually underneath the safety plan with maternal grandmother. That was their efforts to originally made to prevent the baby to being removed. The safety plan didn't work out, and so that's actually how the baby came into custody. Currently, there's not any family members that are willing to take the baby that I've been aware of. Those were all exhausted before, again, the removal had occurred. So at this point, Leslie is trying to stabilize, and Frankie is also trying to stabilize in order to reunify with their son.
And they are seeing their child. I don't know the location of everybody in person, by video. What are they doing?
Last hearing, the judge court ordered that in-person visits were not allowed until a clean UA were provided. So they are set up to do virtuals.
Okay. And so you haven't had a clean UA yet?
No, ma'am.
Okay. When's the last time you tested?
Last month.
Okay. So there'll be a test when?
Your Honor, we are asking for the court to order it today because they were asked to go and they did not.
Okay. So we need those UAs, and if they're clean, that you can adjust their visits, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So let's hear from the attorneys. How about mom's attorney first?
Thank you, Your Honor. Is Leslie staying in contact with you?
Yes, for the most part. It's dwindled a little bit from the beginning, but for the most part, yes. She was not responsive to my text yesterday.
Okay. And she's currently receiving treatment for some mental health services. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she's engaging in those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Barfield.
Thank you, Judge. Well, the good news is, based on the reports that we received in written form, and today, Francisco is in contact with the department and beginning to work services. Bad news is he's not really contacting my office, and we've lost contact with him. So after the hearing, if somebody could shoot me an email, Christina, with his contact information, that would be greatly appreciated, so we can reach out to him and make sure he knows how to contact me. Other than that, I have nothing further at this point, Your Honor.
Thank you. And the attorney ad litem. Anything?
No, Your Honor, the child is doing well. The current placement is safe and appropriate as required by Texas law. I do agree that we should continue the limitation to virtual visits until such time that the parents submit for and obtain a clean UA. And I hope they do that soon, because bonding with this child is important, and I would love to see that happen. And I encourage the parents to report. And even if it's not going to be clean, let's get a baseline so that we know where we're headed. So please, parents, do the drug screens.
Thank you.
And that's,
go ahead.
I was just going to say that's all I had, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the father an adjudicated father? Is that an issue we need to address here today while we're at the status hearing?
He's already been adjudicated, Your Honor, as of the last hearing.
Great. Okay. All right. Does CASA have anything to add?
No, Judge, I agree with Ms. Grant with the drug testing before visiting the child. And I think he's in a perfect foster home.
Okay. Thank you. Then the court will accept and make an order of the court the service plans of both parents. Also, since the mother's on here, let me, Ms. Vasquez, remind you that now that these service plans have been made in order of the court, you have to follow them. And if you do not, these are called the statutory warnings. They're not a threat, they're just the law. And basically that you have to work your service plan. If you do not, your rights to this child could be restricted or terminated. So just need you to stay on the path you're on. Sounds like you're starting to work your services. I am going to order that both parents are to submit to UAs by, I don't know, 5 o'clock today, noon tomorrow. Somebody tell me what y'all's standard is.
4 p.m. today, Your Honor.
4 p.m. today. And then hopefully that will be a clean UA, ma'am, and you'll be able to visit your child in person. Is there anything else today as far as the status hearing is concerned? Yep. Let me remind everybody that the next hearing is the initial permanency hearing, which is the halfway point in this case. That is set for January the 8th at 9 a.m.
We're
Got anything else? Wave at me.
continuing TMC and placement
Yes.
approved. Okay.
And I believe all reasonable efforts have been made. I forgot that. They changed the law since I retired, so I have to remember that one. Slap me around, remind me. Okay. Anybody else have anything today?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
Thank y'all very much. Have a good rest of your day. And some of it I'll see you again. We'll go off the record.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'm not back till 1 o'clock today, so is it okay if I log out and I'll just log back in this afternoon?
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Announcements, please.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Erin Sessions, who is a supervisor from St. Francis Ministries, and she's standing in for Permanency Specialist Tamara Martinez and Supervisor Michaela Kirksey on this case.
Thank you.
Eleanor Robinson, I'm here in place of Alicia Walker, who is representing Martin Acosta.
Thank you.
Monica Olivas with CASA.
Okay. I think I have Miss Grant, or you're there you are.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Stacy Grant, present, ready, Judge. My apologies.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. And so the intervener is the lady who's stepping in. Is that correct? Let's see. Yep.
Yes, Mr.
ma'am.
Acosta.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I would ask Erin Sessions to give the report to the court, and then I have an immigration update for everyone too.
Okay. Thank you. You may proceed.
There's not really much of an update. Manuel's doing great in his placement, and he's just patiently waiting to be adopted after immigration stuff happens.
That's probably what we need is the update, Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, Your Honor. The department has filed his I-360, which is the application for special immigrant juvenile status. It is underway. We also filed an application that allows him to receive a temporary employment authorization and social security card. And it is my understanding that he has recently received those. So, or they're in process. We're in process of getting them to his placement. I did want to let the parties know that he is not done. He does now have a social security card and an employment authorization number that allows him to travel throughout the United States, but it is not a visa. So he still doesn't have status in the United States until the visa process is completed. And so therefore he won't be available for adoption until the completion of that visa process, but it is underway.
Okay. But that allows that if someone stops him, that he would not be
Yes.
deported. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. It's protection. It's not full protection, but it is protection for him to travel.
Good. Be a very active ad litem if we tried to do that. So, all right. And the other two siblings, he's living in the home with his other two siblings. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, and they have already been adopted.
And they've been adopted. Okay, so everything's good. It's just the immigration issue. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions or issues about the immigration or anything else today?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. So the next hearing on this matter will be February the 12th at 9 a.m. And hopefully by then, we'll sort of see what the status of immigration world is by then. I guess we'll know a lot more by February. So thank y'all very much, and we'll go off the record.
All right, and we're just waiting on intervener's attorney. There's going to be someone standing in for her this morning. So as soon as she logs in, I'll bring her in.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have the parents in the waiting room or the interpreter yet. So we'll have to wait and see if they log in as well.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for the parents, it's been the suggestion of Judge Baker that there be a mediation, another mediation, I assume. And I was going to see if y'all want to talk about who you want to agree to, or if you want the court just to appoint. That can take up a little time.
I think we need a really strong mediator. Do y'all have any suggestions?
Yeah, and we also would have to have the interpreter for available for any mediation as well, because that's, yeah.
So it's going to take some time to get it scheduled. So that's why I thought we'd go ahead and get you. Maybe you can pick a mediator and then pick a backup just in case it just doesn't work with the first one. So y'all don't have to get back together.
I think it would be one we would need to have an attorney mediator, not the, no offense to anybody, but I think that would need to be an attorney mediator.
No, I agree. Do y'all know Teresa Ratliff?
I'd prefer, yeah, I do.
I know she does mediations. I know that Leanne Fouts down here does mediations. I know that last time who were we appointed to Rudd? Was that this case? And it was some case in Parmer, and we couldn't find a date. But I mean, I think any of those. What do y'all think? Joel?
Joel, I was about to say.
Yeah, Joel's one of the best mediators I know.
Yeah, I agree.
If he could do it, but I mean, I don't ever have a problem with mediation.
I'm at the courthouse today and I think this is a first for me. I'm zooming from the courtroom that technically I'm not in Palmer County, but yeah, zooming from the courtroom that I would normally physically expect to find myself in.
It's a weird world, isn't it?
It's a weird world.
Okay, so we don't have the intervener or the parents. Is that correct?
Your Honor, Jessica Bishop is the intervener, but her attorney is not present yet.
Oh, okay, so the intervener's here. Okay, but no. Let's see, I've had that attorney way over in Sherman, Texas, I believe. So.
And she had emailed that someone was going to be standing in for her this morning. So I sent all of them a message to see if someone's going to be logging in. I just haven't heard back yet.
Okay, thank you.
I just called the office, and her name is Lucinda, I think, that's standing in for Charity, and they're following up with her right now.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge Bondurant, the ad litem on this case, the attorney ad litem for the child, had surgery yesterday. So
right, I saw that. So I've noted her. We'll note her on the record. Said she had actually visited with the child and was okay with status. So, well, basically, I don't think that whoever is because the intervener comes from not from y'all's region, so probably they're going to have to defer to y'all for the mediator anyway. So, yeah, it sounds to me like y'all have all agreed on somebody named Joel.
Joel, is it
Jackson?
Jackson. Okay, sorry.
I know.
Sorry. And he is frequently appointed by the court, so he is also a court approved. So
yeah. He and I both started at the AG's office a million years ago. Yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot of history
Joel's
there.
good people. Yeah.
Good. Do you want to go ahead and do a backup in case Joel can't do it? Or do y'all want to just wait?
I'd say maybe Mike Sharpie. I mean, we could wait. I'd throw Mike Sharpie's name out. I don't know if y'all have an opinion on Sharpie doing it. Brooks?
Yeah, I don't know him. I know he does appeals, so if anybody was thinking of using
Yeah, I like Mike. Mike's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, y'all just keep him in the back of your mind in case Joel just can't work it out. Maybe y'all can send around an agreed order or something then. Okay. All right. Tell him it wasn't any favoritism on my part because I know he got appointed. he's a hoot. Okay, so that will be agreed.
I think he would be the first choice of most of the attorneys who practice in this area. So
good. That's good to know. I'm glad that he grew up and he's a good boy. Okay, it is almost 10 after. So do the parents always appear?
Hit and miss on my end, Your Honor.
Okay.
I don't know how much contact we've had with the parents recently, so I don't even know from the department if they were able to get the link or not.
Mr. Barfield, have you had any contact with your client?
Well, here's the thing. No, well, the problem I have with my clients, I'm texting my office right now to see if we've heard anything. The problem with communicating with my client is she speaks Quiche, and I'm not real good at that. So
I don't know anybody that is.
Yeah, well, Sixth is pretty
Except
good
the
at
lady
it.
with the headphone.
Yeah, so I'm checking my office right now, Judge, to see if we've heard anything this morning.
Okay, Mr. Turman, have you had any word from your client?
I'm not, Judge.
Okay. Yeah, we'll give the intervener's actually present, Miss Bishop, so I would assume that she would be in favor of mediation. Got the thumbs up. So I think we're gonna, Miss Bishop, if you're okay, we're gonna go ahead and proceed. I've got a lot of attorneys and staff tied up here and I hate for them to have to wait around.
No, totally fine. And I apologize. Charity's in a court hearing today. So, but my husband and I are on the call. Please proceed. We don't need to wait.
Okay. Thank you. This is a permanency review after final order hearing out of Palmer County. If I could have announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Erin Sessions, who is a supervisor from St. Francis Ministries. She is standing in for Permanency Specialist Tamara Martinez and Supervisor Michaela Kersey, also from St. Francis.
Thank you.
Brooks Barfield, attorney for Catalina Gomez. I'm present and ready. As the court has already noted, my client is not present today at this particular time.
Thank you.
Ryan Turman on behalf of respondent father. I am present and ready, but as was also noted for the respondent mother, my client is not present.
Thank you.
Monica Olivas with CASA.
Thank you. And I'll next.
I'm letting in the intervener's attorney. She just logged in.
Oh, okay. Is it Miss Breeze? Is that how you say your name? Breeze LeBron? We're making announcements, so if I could get you to announce, please.
Linda Breeze LeBron standing in for Charity Moore, serving as the attorney for the interview.
Ma'am, I can barely hear her, Judge. I'm sorry.
I'll try to do better.
Better. Thank you. Right, you're there. Got it going. Thank you very much. Also, the court received a notice from the attorney ad litem, Delinda Ebling. Am I close? Anyway, she has had surgery and made a report to the court as to her findings and that she has recently seen the child. So, Ms. Ferguson, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I would ask Erin Sessions to just give an update to the court.
Okay, Ms. Sessions.
Griselda's doing fantastic in her placement. She very much so wants to stay there. She's continuing with regular therapy. She's having therapeutic visitation with her parents bi-weekly. There are times when Griselda chooses not to participate in those calls, and we honor that request, and so does her therapist. But she's doing really well. Parents they have completed services. they've been done with services for a while. There was an ICPC done on their home, which was approved. However, they have since moved from that residence. So an addendum was requested to Nebraska on their new residence. And so that's still pending.
Anyone else you wish to call Ms. Ferguson?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I mean, the department did recently file a motion to modify just to get this case moving because it needs to go in one direction or another. And I feel like a mediation would be the perfect way to try to move this case along.
Okay. Thank you. Also, I want to state that the interpreter is present, even though the parents are not, just to acknowledge that she's here. So to Mr. Barfield, if you would have anything to state for your client.
No, Your Honor, I'd ask that the counseling can continue with my client, and as stated in the reports. Obviously, we oppose the intervention, but that's a whole nother matter we don't have to deal with today.
Okay. Has the intervention been granted by Judge Baker?
Your Honor, nobody has filed a motion to oppose it, and we haven't had a hearing on it.
Okay. So then it's not been set. So it would be in front of Judge Baker, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then Mr. Thurman, anything about your client?
No, Your Honor, I'd pretty much just say ditto to Mr. Brooks' statement, Mr. Barfield's statement. I'm sorry. I don't really have anything in addition to report as far as my client is concerned, but yeah, we'll go on the record as well and say that we oppose the intervener's pleadings.
Okay. But they are here, and so everybody's making nice, correct?
Yes.
They just
Yes.
have not officially intervened. Okay. Okay. I would assume that in a mediation, even though there's opposition, that all of the parents' attorneys would want the intervener present at that mediation. So what we've done is before the intervener's attorney entered, everybody agreed on a mediator that is someone that they feel is qualified in this case and is a local mediator out in the area, and that would be Joel Jackson. Is there any opposition to Mr. Jackson being appointed the mediator? No?
None from my end, Your Honor.
Okay. So we'll get Rachel to get an order to Judge Baker on that, and that'll get appointed then. The ICPC addendum is still pending, so you know what the status of that is, Ms. Ferguson, at this time, or is it just in the wind?
It's in, Your Honor, I believe that it was just recently sent and requested, so it's probably still pending.
Okay.
Well, it took quite a while for the original ICPC to come back from Nebraska, so I don't know how long the addendum will take.
But they're still in Nebraska, they just moved?
That is correct. They just moved to another location within the same city.
Okay. All right. So I will find that reasonable efforts obviously are being made by the department because of the ICPC and the addendum being requested at this time. The status quo will remain. Also, the court is ordering the mediation with Joel Jackson, and that will, of course, be circulated around. Please remember that the interpreter will need to be involved in that. Anything else today? No. Okay, the next hearing, which is statutorily required, is set for February the 12th at 10 a.m. Okay. Good luck. Sounds like y'all got a mess on your hands. It's not mine. Thank you. We'll go off the record.
Well, that's a fair.
Not excused, Your Honor.
Right. That's why I retired.
I'm working on it. I'm working hard at it. May I
See
be
everybody.
excused?
Thank you, Sixta.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Warren, if I can have announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. For case number 10015, I am present and ready with Permanency Specialist Zona Ramsey and Dakota Miller, both from St. Francis Ministries. And I'm also present with the other two for the companion case if you wanted to do them both at the same time, Your Honor.
Oh, that would be fine. And that would be the 10202.
Yes, Your Honor. So for 10202, I am present and ready with Permanency Specialist Heather Eubanks and Will Ratton from St. Francis Ministries.
Okay. And this is the attorney ad litem who is out on bed rest today. So I didn't receive a notice from her, but this is pretty much status quo. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. And she did, I did propose orders and she did sign both of them. But I thought that there was some information to share with CASA and other people. So I figured we should just have the hearing.
Okay. Then you may go ahead and proceed. And CASA is also present. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I was about to present myself.
I saw you there. Thank you, dear.
I guess I would ask Zona to start.
Yes, so we have some good news for Herberto. We finally got his residency card and his Social Security to work. And I have already got those to him in person. So he has all of his documents and he's working on his GED and he's doing good there. He's working on taking his test right now. And only good news for Herberto this month. So.
Okay, my concern is his PAL. Is it done?
To my knowledge, he has certificates completed for PAL.
Okay, but let's make sure we got him. He turns 18 Christmas Day, and that ain't cool if he doesn't have them. So, who's got those certificates? Do we know?
That would be his PAL worker. His PAL worker is Herbert Watson, and when I talked to him, he said they had him completed.
Okay, well,
I'll make sure to find the physical ones.
Okay, so they are done.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's a biggie. All right, so he's still in the RTC. What's he going to do when he turns 18?
So his permanency goal is independent living. And now that we have his documents, we're working on like a final plan now that we can move forward with his citizenship and everything. So.
Okay, and he'll have his GED done before his 18th birthday?
That is the goal. I mean, that's depending on how he tests, but that is the goal.
Okay. If he doesn't get it finished and he turns 18 and he walks out the door, is he going to finish his GED or what? Where are we on that? Does he have the determination to finish it?
I think he does. I mean, now that we have his residency card and all of his, citizenship information, I think he truly does. We've been working on getting him a laptop that he can use. When he originally asked for one, it was when he wasn't a citizen, but now that he is, we've just been working on getting him one ordered. But I think he does. I think he could get it now that he has all of it. I mean, once again, that's up to him.
Right.
The decisions he makes, but I think he will, but that really does truly just depend on what he decides to do.
And just to clarify, it wasn't because he wasn't a citizen that he didn't get a computer. I just want to clarify. It wasn't because he wasn't a citizen that he didn't get a computer. It was because he wasn't going to school. He wasn't wanting to work his GED. He wasn't being compliant. So it didn't have anything to do with his citizenship other than getting his citizenship has given him that push to start doing well and to start going to school and to start finish.
That's what I was going to say. That gave him a motivation to get his stuff done with his residency and his social.
And Your Honor, I was just going to let the court know that before he turns 18, I was going to ask Zona and CASA and his ad litem to set up a meeting with him so that I can explain, his next steps for actually becoming a citizen. Because right now he's just a permanent resident, and in 5 years he will be able to apply to naturalize as a U.S. citizen. But at that time, there's all sorts of criteria that they look at. I just want to make sure that he's aware that getting his GED and working and things like that will go a long way towards becoming a U.S. citizen.
Okay. So you feel comfortable with that? You don't need to have another hearing before the court before his 18th birthday?
No, Your Honor, I think we can do it. We've been doing it, ad hoc, I guess, this whole time. So I think we can do that.
All right.
And it'll make it less stressful for him.
Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the 19-year-old, that case. That would be the one that's in trial independence.
Yes, Your Honor. And I would ask Heather Eubanks to give the report.
We have not had any contact with y'all. The number that I have doesn't it doesn't give me a reaction that it's or a response that it is not a working number. I just don't get any callbacks. I know he's Spanish speaking, so I sent him a text message that's in Spanish. I use the translator. I've not heard anything back. I know he's working for his brother-in-law for a lawn service. He has completed his PAL according to our documents, but he has not reached out to ask for any of that transitional living allowance. If he were to do so, then we would put him in touch with his PAL worker if he doesn't have that information. He just hasn't responded to us. Last time, whenever the case was transferred to me, it was reported to me that he is in the Midland, Odessa area living with a sister and a brother-in-law.
Okay. And does he know who his PAL worker is? Does he have contact information for that?
Case was transferred to me. It was reported to me that he did have that information. It's really easy to get it though. If he were to contact me, and like I said, I have texted him several times, and if he just asked, then I could put him in contact with that
Okay.
person.
So he knows how to get hold of you, and your numbers and everything are all still the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And are you asking today for the department to end the trial independence?
We are not going to. We originally had asked, but because we are not sure if he has received his citizenship yet, Ms. Ferguson made us aware that he needs to stay in care until he does receive those documents.
Okay.
And Your Honor, we keep it like a voluntary tip kind of thing, but we are still providing immigration services. He's a little bit behind his brother in the process because of some other juvenile stuff that had to be dealt with first. So we aren't anticipating that he'll get his residency for some time. So we would like to keep him in tip as long as possible.
Okay, that sounds great. So those are the issues with both boys. Is there anything else today to come before the court?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful. Sounds like they're doing really well. So the next hearing in this matter for both boys will be on February the 12th, 2025, both at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Looks like we got a lot of 9 a.m. Yeah. Rachel, you've got, do you just set them all at 9 and then?
Yes, we do a 9 o'clock docket, and then when it gets closer, I spread them out. Yes.
Okay. I think I'm saying 9 o'clock a lot. Okay. All right. Thank y'all very much. We'll go off the record.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Ms. Ferguson, do you think you have an agreement? Do y'all need to visit? What do you want to do?
Your Honor, I do think we need to visit a little bit. We all tried to visit before in the week leading up to this hearing, but it's kind of been.
Okay, well, I don't have the power to knock me out, but I promise you I will mute and stop the video and walk away. Just yell at me when you're ready, okay?
I can move them to breakout rooms.
Okay. That'd be good.
Miss Grant is not in just yet. So do you want me to wait, or do you want me to put you and Mr. Shaw in?
No, we need to wait for Miss Grant. And I think I need to meet with Miss Grant alone.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to step away and y'all yell at me when you're ready.
Is Isabel Chacon on this one?
Yes.
Okay. And there's Miss Grant. So we'll bring her in and get you guys into a room.
I guess, yeah, Mr. Shaw as well. So all the attorneys and CASA.
Okay. Let's get you guys. Okay. Stacy, we're going to move the attorneys to a breakout room. So get these set up. I'll move you guys into room.
Thanks, Rachel.
Oh, wait, that's not what I want to do.
So I think Judge Bondurant, if you're there, I think we're ready. Unless anybody else has anything else.
Okay. Sorry, I was over in the other part of the living room. This is set in Bailey County. This is actually set for a bench trial final hearing today inside of an extension. If I could have announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I am present and ready with Isabel Chacon, Permanency Specialist, and Dakota Miller, Supervisor, both from St. Francis Ministries.
Thank you.
Stacy Grant, present and ready on behalf of Jocelyn Lopez, the mother of the children judge, and we're present and ready.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Monica Olivas with CASA.
Okay. Is the father present?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Ferguson.
And Your Honor, before we get started, I did want to announce to the court that we do have a partial agreement, and the department, the child's ad litem, and Ms. Lopez and her attorney have agreed that the department is, the child has been placed with her pursuant to a monitored, just a return to her care in the last few months. She has done well. She's completed all of her services. The department is asking to be dismissed today. And so we are in agreement as to the department's dismissal. The issues that we need to try today are going to be the establishing Mr. Jordan as the father of the child, and then requesting child support and settling visitation issues for him.
Fine, go ahead.
Okay. The department calls Isabel Chacon.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Please state your name for the record.
Isabel Chacon,
And how are you employed?
permanency specialist for St. Francis.
And how are you familiar with this family?
I'm Jocelyn's caseworker.
And how long have you been the caseworker on this case?
For about since last August.
Okay. And how has Jocelyn done?
She's done very well. She's completed all her services. Every time I've asked her to do something, she does it. She's very respectful. She's done very good. She's made a long way.
And how is Celine doing?
She's doing great. Now I get to see her because before she was located in San Antonio area. And so now with the monitored return, she's such a happy baby. She's very happy. She really enjoys being around mom and brother.
And is she doing well there?
Yes, ma'am.
Does the department have any concerns that Ms. Lopez will be able to care for Celine going forward?
No, ma'am.
Is the department asking to be dismissed today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you, or has the department, has St. Francis had any recent conversations with Mr. Jordan?
So I did talk to him this week, and we got paternity back August 21st, stating he is the dad, and I was in contact with him. I did let him know, he's the dad. I've asked him if he's going to work services, but he just keeps telling me he hasn't got in contact with Jim Shaw, his attorney, to go over that. And I did let him know, are you wanting to be a part of her life? That's part of working the services. And he just keeps telling me he wants to talk to his attorney before he tells me anything.
Okay. And how long has this case been going on? Well, let me just ask you this. If I told you that this case was filed in, sorry, I'm looking at my notes and they're all scratched out. If I told you that this case was filed back in the spring of 2023, would you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So this case has been almost 18 months. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Our extended dismissal date is coming up next week. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that will be a full 18 months since this case was filed.
Yes, ma'am.
In all of that time, has Mr. Jordan done any services?
No, ma'am.
And in fact, when was the first time that St. Francis had any contact with him?
In July
of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
So he did submit to DNA testing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, I have submitted Petitioner's Exhibit 1 to all the parties and to the court. I would ask if there's no objection that Petitioner's Exhibit 1 be admitted.
No objection.
No objection.
Okay, one's admitted.
Okay. And Ms. Chacon, is Petitioner's Exhibit 1, that's the results of the DNA testing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that shows that he is the father of Celine.
Yes, ma'am.
So at this time, is the department asking that Mr. Jordan be ordered to pay guideline child support for Celine?
Yes, ma'am.
And that support be paid to Jocelyn Lopez?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is Miss Lopez?
I think she's 20. I'm not even sure.
She's
19. Oh, 19. I was like, I know she's young.
And she was under 18 when this case started. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's fair to say that she's a really young mom.
Mm-hmm.
And does she work?
Yes, she works at the dollar store in her hometown. And she's been giving me check stubs every week. She gets paid and she's been keeping up with all that.
But she needs support. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Single mom to two, trying to provide. She does need help.
And she's done a really good job getting on her feet at her age. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But at this time, is the department asking the court to order child support for Mr. Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you know of Mr. Jordan's employment? Has he told you where he works?
He has not. No.
Has he told you where he lives?
He did give me an address. Yes.
Okay. And what area? You don't have to say the address.
La Mesa, I believe.
Okay. Has he expressed an interest in visiting Celine?
No, sorry, he lives in Lorenzo.
Oh.
But no, he has not. When I've made contact with him, he did mention to me that he has a whole other family.
So how many children do you know that he has?
3 other children besides Celine.
Okay, 3 additional children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you know if he supports those children or if they live with him?
From what I know, they live with him.
So at this time, the department's request that he be ordered to pay guideline child support would be based on minimum wage, since we don't know what he does for employment, and also based on the fact that he does have 3 additional children other than Celine. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as visitation goes, has he ever met Celine?
No.
And was that part of the services that the department asked him to work would have included like therapeutic introduction to Celine? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And was he aware of that? Did you discuss that with him?
Every time I would ask if he would like to work his service plan, he just told me I need to get in contact with my attorney before I talk to you about that.
Okay. So it's fair to say that in at least 18 months, he's never requested any contact with Celine.
No, ma'am.
So at this time, would the department have a concern with him having straight out unsupervised contact with the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And what would that concern be?
He has no bond with Celine.
And also there were issues that brought Celine into the care of the department. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I know Jocelyn did state physical abuse while she was pregnant with Javen Jordan. So that is concerning.
And was that some of the services we were trying to get him to work was to address those issues?
Yes, ma'am.
So at this time, is the department requesting that any visitation that he have be supervised?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had a discussion with Ms. Lopez about her ability to designate somebody to supervise?
I know we talked about supervising, and I think Jocelyn says she would be willing to supervise as well.
And does she, in your conversation with her, do you feel like she understood that she could also have somebody help her or be with her when those visitations occur?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss a potential location for the visitation?
We have not, but we were thinking about somewhere in Lubbock, a public place.
Okay. Any other concerns regarding Mr. Jordan?
I would like for him to do drug tests as well. We have seen pictures of him with a blunt in his hand, so that's concerning as well.
Okay, so before he had any unsupervised contact with the child, you would want Ms. Lopez to have the ability to ask for him to take a drug test and provide the results to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, I pass the witness.
Okay, let's go over to Ms. Grant.
Your Honor, I have no questions other than to announce that the mother agrees to the child support by the formula and only supervised visitation. She agrees to be the supervisor of the visitation or be allowed to designate a competent person to supervise that visitation. And we've previously agreed to the visitation occurring at McDonald's on 4th Street in Lubbock or any other place in Lubbock as agreed by the parties in advance.
Okay. Mr. Shaw.
Ma'am, when you spoke to the father, was that on the phone?
Yes, sir.
And was that at the number that you had previously provided me?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
And then my ad litem is not here. So any other witnesses, Ms. Ferguson?
No, Your Honor.
Have you figured that child support with the 3 kids included?
No, Your Honor. I didn't know that there were 3. So that was a surprise. I'm going to have to do that calculation.
Okay. And is the child also on Medicaid?
Yes.
Okay. So you do need to place the whatever the standard is they're doing now, $50 or $75 a month, I think, for medical.
Yeah, we usually request 50, Your Honor.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. So do you have any other witnesses, Ms. Ferguson?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I don't.
Okay. Ms. Grant, any witnesses?
Your Honor, I just briefly called Jocelyn Lopez.
Okay. Ms. Lopez, if I can get you to raise your right hand. Did I already say I didn't swear you in yet? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi, Jocelyn. I just want to briefly ask you, did you hear the announcements that were made about the agreement?
Yes, ma'am. In the book, medium about the visitation of my daughter on 4th Street at McDonald's or any public place.
Correct. And you are in agreement to the announcement of child support by the formula of the state of Texas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that if you are not willing to supervise the visitation, that you may designate a competent person known to the child to do that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any questions or concerns regarding the dismissal of the department prior to them being dismissed from your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you going to be able to go forward and maintain the child on Medicaid and take care of her from here on out?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've done an excellent job, and I'm proud of you. That's not a question. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Pass the witness, Judge.
Mr. Shaw, any questions?
Not for the mother, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
The only thing I have is I believe that to actually overcome the joint managing conservatorship burden here, I just want to ask you, Ms. Lopez, do you believe at this time that it's in your child's best interest that you be named the sole managing attorney? I mean, conservator, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Any other witnesses, Ms. Grant?
No, Your Honor, just one request that I forgot to ask the court to order, which was that my client be allowed to redact her personal information from any orders written by the court as to protect her and her child from any future violence or aggressions against them.
Then how is he going to contact her for visitation?
We do not object to the phone number being published, Your Honor, only the address.
Okay. So she will have to always maintain and provide him with a phone number. That'll be her burden. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. We understand.
Thank you. Mr. Shaw, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, I do not have a witness, but I do have an offer of proof. I have repeatedly called the number that CPS had provided me or St. Francis had provided me. I have left messages, but I have not received any phone calls back from my client. So I have not had any contact regarding the proposal today from my client.
Okay. Do you have any, so you've never had any contact with him at all?
No.
And you've sent a letter to his address?
No, just called him.
Okay. And left messages? Did you leave messages, Mr. Shaw?
Sorry, Judge, I got blocked out. I didn't hear the last question.
So did you leave him messages on his phone?
I did, Your Honor.
And then, so you believe that that was a phone number that you've been given, that was his telephone?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I don't have an ad litem. Anything further, Ms. Ferguson?
No, Your Honor. And CASA is here, but.
Does CASA have a recommendation since my ad litem's not here today?
No, ma'am. I agree with all other parties.
Okay. All right. Well, first off, we need to establish the father as the adjudicated father. So let's do that so that now we can rule on him. I'm sorry, is there any other closing information that needs to come before the court?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So with that establishment, then I believe that the burden of conservatorship has been overcome at this point in time, and I will hold the mother as the sole managing conservator and the father as a possessory conservator. Child support will be based on minimum wage at with 3 children on the chart for in the home of the father, and then that child support will begin October the 1st. Is there any retroactive child support asked for at this time?
No, Your Honor. He just established.
Okay, so no retro, and medical support would then, of course, be, did you say $50 is your standard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Visitation until such time as the court rules otherwise will be, first off, of course, as agreed to. Secondly, it will be supervised by the mother or her designated person. It would need to be, at this time, it will be in Lubbock, Texas, at the McDonald's on 4th Street or somewhere similar if the parties can agree. This visitation to ensure that the mother does not totally disavow him. He has the right to have visitation at least once a month. He must give 2 weeks notice of when he's going to visit. And I don't know what the standards are there. Are y'all like, do you want a set day or do you want to just leave it like that?
Your Honor, we generally do exactly what you did, 2 weeks notice for up to 2 hours, one hour, whatever the court decides, but we do designate just the number of hours.
Okay, thank you. So that would be for 2 hours at a time. And any issues that I have not covered? The department would be dismissed. So Ms. Lopez, let me tell you this though. I want you to understand that you're being given what we call sole custody, but you are agreeing to some form of access to the father. You need to realize that if he contacts you, that you've got to set this up with him, because you can actually be held in contempt of court by not granting that visitation. Okay. Just like he can be held in contempt of court for not paying child support. So furthermore, down the road, if you go back to court on this issue, it won't be in child protection court. It'll be in the district court in Bailey County. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any questions today while you still have all these lawyers at your access?
If he don't show up, what do I do?
What I always suggest to people is get you a little calendar or a notebook, write all that down. And after he hasn't shown up a couple of times, after he set it up with you, you pretty much can go talk to the Attorney General's office or to a private attorney, and they can basically probably restrict his visitation. But make sure you keep documentations on everything. That's why you want to do it in a public place.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
as for would it just be him by himself, or would it be his family too visiting my daughter? Or
that's going to be up to you, basically. I think what we can do with that question, if you wouldn't mind, Ms. Ferguson, in your order, put that it would be him, and only if the parties agree, can anyone else come?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's a good question, Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
we didn't cover that one, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else today? Okay, so the department is dismissed from this case, and Ms. Lopez, I wish you a lot of good luck, and you really don't want to ever see these people again. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Good. Thank you all very much. Have a good lunch. We'll go off the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Pamela
Bye.
Ferguson, Regional
Have a
Attorney
good
representing the
lunch.
Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and Supervisor Jasmine DeVroe, both from St. Francis Ministries.
Yeah.
Brooks Barfield, attorney for Alvin Cooper, present and ready. As has already been discussed off the record, he is currently incarcerated, and I am now ready to proceed.
Thank you.
Tracy Riley. I am here and ready to proceed, and I'm representing Amy Hernandez, the mother in this case, and she appears to be on the Zoom as well, although her camera is not on.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent the children and I'm ready.
Thank you. Ms. Cooper, if you have the capacity, there you are, you turned it on. Appreciate it. All right, Ms. Ferguson.
Your Honor, on this one, I would just ask to call Lisa Hooper as a witness.
As a statement, or you want to call her?
Just to call her to do a more formal hearing on this one. I think it goes easier that way.
Okay, Ms. Hooper, if I could get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Ms. Hooper, please state your name for the record.
Lisa Hooper.
And how are you employed?
I'm a permanency specialist with St. Francis Ministries.
And you've recently been assigned to this case, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you develop a family plan of service for, let's go by each parent. So did you develop one for Amy Hernandez?
I did.
And did you meet with Ms. Hernandez regarding that plan of service?
Yes, I did.
And has she signed it?
Yes.
And can you briefly tell the court what is on that plan of service?
We are going to ask her to maintain a source of legal income, maintain an appropriate residence for a minimum of 6 consecutive months, schedule and maintain regular supervised family visits, excuse me, to participate in parenting classes for a minimum of 12 hours. If Amy tests positive on a random drug test, she'll be referred to the drug and alcohol screening and assessment. Amy will maintain a drug-free lifestyle and will submit to random drug testing. And she will actively participate in and complete individual counseling and family therapy if recommended. She'll participate in a psychological evaluation. And she will have face-to-face contact with her permanency specialist on a minimum of 1 time each month.
And has she agreed to all these services?
Yes.
And what type of visitation is she having with the children?
She's having weekly visits, supervised. They are 1 hour each week in Floydada.
And are they in person?
Yes.
And what services is the department asking her to focus on to start off with?
To maintain sobriety, attend AANA classes, and start counseling that can focus on the drug use that she's had.
Okay. And is it fair to say that that's one of the main reasons that the department is currently involved with this family?
Yes.
Okay. Have you developed a plan of service for Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
And have you met with him regarding his plan of service?
Yes.
Did he sign it?
No, he did not.
And would you briefly tell the court all the services the department is requesting the court to order Mr. Cooper to participate in?
Absolutely. He will maintain a source of legal income. He will maintain appropriate residence for a minimum of 6 consecutive months. He will refrain from any and all criminal activity. He will participate in services available to him while incarcerated. Will schedule and maintain regular supervised visits after he is out of incarceration. He will maintain a drug-free lifestyle. He will submit to random drug testing on a monthly basis requested by the department. He will provide the department with requested information pertaining to the case. If Mr. Cooper tests positive, he will be referred for a drug and alcohol screening and assessment. He will participate and complete an individual counseling and family therapy if recommended, and have face-to-face contact with his permanency specialist on a minimum of 1 time each month.
Okay. And when we were here last at the temporary orders hearing, a visitation was addressed for him. What is your understanding of what the court ordered for his visitation?
That he would write letters to each of the girls and give them to me, and I would provide them to the girls.
Okay. And did the question of the girls going in person to visit him at the jail come up at that hearing?
I believe so, yes.
And what is the department's position on that?
We do not take children to the jails for visitation.
Has anything about anything in this case changed the department's mind or their position on that?
No, ma'am.
So at this time, would the department be asking the court to continue his visitation as it was previously ordered?
Yes.
How are the girls doing?
The girls are doing wonderful. They are doing great.
And was a home study completed on their placement?
Yes.
And what was the result of that?
It was passed. It was approved.
Are they able to stay in the same schools?
Yes, ma'am.
And everything with their placement is going well. Is that correct?
It's going very well. It's a kinship placement. They are doing very well. They're going to school every day. They're enjoying school. Well, Elena is going to do cheerleading for the flag football team here in Floydada. So they are both doing very, very well in school and in placement.
Are there any needs regarding the children that the department would ask the court to address today?
No.
At this time, is the department asking the court to make both family plans of service an order of the court?
Yes.
And is the department asking the court to order that there is a continued need for temporary managing conservatorship in this case?
Yes.
And what is that continued need?
The continued need is to provide the children with a safe home and environment, and that the mother continue to work her services as she's doing and continue to drug test on a monthly basis and continue her services.
Okay. And it has been recent as the temporary order hearing that Ms. Cooper did admit to drug use. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is she working any services at this time to address that?
She is. She has she's about to start counseling with a counselor in Amarillo that's going to do counseling and also focus on the drug use that she had. She has started going to virtual AANA classes. She is scheduled to take her psychological evaluation. And so she's also started on her parenting. So she's doing well with her services.
Okay. And as far as Mr. Cooper, when you recently visited with him, did he give you any indication of when he believes he might get out of jail?
He really doesn't know. He thought maybe at the end of 90 days, but it was unclear. He stated it was unclear to him at that point exactly how much longer it would be.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
I believe there's a note about the dad appearing from jail. Did you see that, Rachel?
I'm pulling it up right now, Joe.
Okay.
Okay. I guess he's going to appear, I guess.
Okay. So see if Rachel has him out in her waiting room.
No, I don't have anyone in the waiting room. I'll watch for him though.
Okay, you watch for him. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, Miss Riley, any questions?
Yes, just briefly. In addition to Ms. Hooper, in addition to the other things that you've talked about, my client also has been tested for drugs, correct?
Yes.
She tested in August?
Yes.
And she tested negative, correct? In the urine test?
On the UA, she tested negative. The hair was positive.
Right. Okay. In addition to that, she has set up a home, right? Have you had an opportunity to view where she's living?
Yes, she's living in the home that her and Alvin share.
Okay. And it's a suitable home and placement for the children?
Yes.
Okay. There haven't been any problems at her visits with the children, right?
Correct.
The children want to see their mother?
Yes.
Now, in terms of who set up the individual counseling in Amarillo?
Her and I got on the phone together with Melissa Lawson, which is, I think, part of the counseling group there.
Mm-hmm.
I think she either knew Miss Pace Lawson or she had gone to him before. So she wanted to go to him. So we got her on the phone, or the Lawson counseling group. We got them on the phone, talked to them about their drug counseling and what all they do. So it was kind of a joint effort between me and her.
Okay, but Ms. Hernandez Cooper actually came up with somebody that she thought would be helpful to her for this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I know you testified that she admitted to drug usage, though, but isn't it true that she admitted to only having a small relapse that was almost 4 months ago?
No, she admitted to using drugs. Yes.
Right, but she admitted to just one relapse over 4 months ago.
I do not remember the one relapse part. I do not remember that.
Okay, well, she didn't admit that she was consistently using drugs again, right?
All I remember is that she admitted to using drugs. She didn't say how many times. She didn't say one time. So I don't know how many times she was using the drugs.
Okay, well, would you agree that there's a difference between whether or not she was using drugs habitually or just had one relapse?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so, but as you sit here today, the department doesn't know which it was.
Yeah, she has not given us an exact number of how many times she used drugs.
And you didn't ask to clarify so that you could determine whether or not the children, what sort of level of risk the children were at?
No.
Pass the witness.
Let's see, Mr. Barfield.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, so right now, Mr. Cooper is incarcerated. Are there any services that he is going to be able to complete while his case is pending that you're aware of?
Last week when I went to visit him, I took him a parenting packet for him to work on, and he did take that with him.
Oh, good. Okay, good. And did he indicate to you that he would work on that?
He did.
Great. Okay. That's all the questions I have, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Are the children up to date on their medical and dental?
Yes.
And school's just started, but it sounds like they're excited to be in school.
They are. And they also both of them got new glasses in August.
Okay. And are any of the children on psychotropic medications?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything since the filing of the court report that the judge would need to be aware of regarding the children?
Oh, I'm sorry. There have not been any changes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass witness.
Ms. Ferguson, any other questions of this witness?
No, Your Honor. And at this time, the department, well, let me ask.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, Your Honor. Let me just, Ms. Hooper, is the department asking this court to find that there is a continuing danger that necessitates these children to stay in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department?
Yes.
And what is that continuing danger as presented by Ms. Cooper?
Drug use from her.
And when was the last time that she had a positive drug test?
In August, she tested negative on a UA, but positive on a hair strand. And that's the only time she has tested for so far.
And those are the services that the department is asking her to continue to address. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. As far as Mr. Cooper, what is the continuing danger?
He has not, except for the parenting packet that I was able to give him, he has not been able to start any of the other services that we have asked him to do. And he's incarcerated.
Okay. And so is the plan, if he gets out of incarceration, for him to work some services?
Yes.
And those are the services the department has asked this court to order today. Is that correct?
Yes.
And at this time, would he be able to provide any type of safe environment for the children to live?
No.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness again.
Ms. Riley, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Barfield.
No, Judge.
And Ms. Kincaid.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor. And at this time, the department rests and asks for all the requisite findings on the permanency order.
Thank you. Ms. Riley, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Barfield?
No, Your Honor. No witnesses.
Okay, and Ms. Kincaid, you are the attorney ad litem and the guardian ad litem. Do you have any witnesses or a recommendation?
No witnesses today, Your Honor. Recommendation is the department maintain temporary managing conservatorship and the placement be approved. The girls really enjoy their placement, and it seems like placement is adequately protective and very communicative with me. So I think that's a good spot for the girls to be.
Okay. I did forget to ask if somebody has gone out to talk to the placement about kinship services. Can somebody respond to that, please?
Yes, we have had a kinship worker visit with them. So they are in the process of getting out the kinship services set up.
Okay, while I have your mic on, what is the plan at this time?
Family reunification concurrent with relative adoption.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else from anybody? If you do, wave your hand and I'll call on you. Okay, thank you. Then I will order that the two plans be made in order of this court. Also, I do find that all reasonable efforts have been made at this time to reconcile this case, and that there is a continuing danger. I find also, just as an aside, and as somebody who was a judge forever, that this case shouldn't last very long. It looks like the mother's on her way to doing the right thing, and hopefully this will be resolved soon. Let me remind you, Ms. Cooper, that since now you've accepted this plan, you now have to work it. It sounds like you're already doing that, but you have to continue. If you don't, your rights could be restricted or terminated. So please just stay on the path you're on, keep in touch with your worker and your attorney, and sounds like things are going your way. Anything else from anybody today? Nope.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. It's been fun. Y'all have a good one. We'll go off the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.